Hello guys, good afternoon and welcome back. Alright, so in this very video, I want to show us how to draft a top. Now, I know I have made several videos on the cutting stages or the cutting aspects, but here I want to also lay more emphasis because the success of every cloth lay on the drafting, right, or the cutting. If you are able to understand this cutting very well, you will be able to do whatsoever sewing that follows suit. Now, the reason I spend much of my time in showing illustration videos on cutting is because that is where most of us do have issues on. So in this very video, we are going to learn again how to draft. Now, possibly answer some questions that are coming from the comment sections of my previous videos, right? Now, of course, you and I know that the first thing to do is to identify the front and the back fabric. So the front for this type of fabric is always on the edge that you can read the name printed on them. But then if you don't have this type of fabric, if the one you had is the one that has brush mouth, you can now check for the shiny part or the dull part. So for this one, we have the branded name already at the edge. So we are going to fold in that direction. Then on folding, I told us that you must fold in line with your customer's chest measurement. So the chest we have today is a chest line of 41, right? Now the chest of my customer is 40, but the body is 41 because he's making a long top. So here I will fold this clothes in the form that I will cover 41 chests and then extra 2 inches. So I have it to be in this form. 41 plus extra 2 is the target of your folding. You must make sure that your folding comes in line with these measurements I have explained to you now. So I am trying to get the folding done. So 41 inches by 4 is 10.125, then plus extra 2 inches. So I have it to be here. So this is going to be our working edge. So luckily today we have same customer, but he has 2 fabrics. So I will also cut the both of them at once. So it is also important as well you learn how to cut 2 fabrics at once. Now if you notice, I folded one first, and then before I folded, I am folding now the second fabric. I did not add the two of them together while folding. So I have to take time this way and get the folding at exact points, right? And then I will now remove the rumples here, remove the foldings here, and then once the folding is perfectly done, now I will bring out the cooler which I am using to hold the fabric and then allow it to flow. So this is how you fold and cut your fabric. Then after this, then the next thing we are going to do as well is to iron out the edge. So you make sure you use your steam iron or whichever iron you have and iron out the body of the fabric. This helps you to have a more relaxed and a more positioned fabric before you cut. It also helps to remove any possible error which you might encounter while cutting your fabric, because it is not proper or ideal to have your fabric cut in a folded or in a rumpled form. So you must be properly ironed before you go about cutting your fabric. So if you take time to watch the video to the end, you will find out that there are some certain things that do give you issues before, but this video is coming to help you, or has come rather, to help you solve them. Please, if you're a first time viewer, kindly subscribe to my channel. If you are a returning viewer, you are kindly welcome, and stay tuned. Let's learn together. So here I have my customer's measurements, which are the chest, shoulder, the sleeve length, the round sleeve, the neck, the top length, the waist. Sorry, we don't need the waist, only chest, shoulder, sleeve length, round sleeve, neck, and top length is all or are all we need. The trousers has already been made, so this is just for the top measurement, right? So here, let us go down to the men cutting proper. All right, so now after folding, then the next thing to do is to mark out your baselines. Mark out your baselines. Mark out your baselines. Confirm if the line is showing. Mark out your baselines. So once you mark out your baselines this way, now like I do tell us, then you add extra 4 inches here. You add extra 4 inches here. This 4 inches is for the hemming, right? For the hemming or the folding of the top. So you mark 4 inches here. Then after which you apply the top length. So the top length I have for my customer is a top length of 37. So he wants to have a long top, 37 top length. Then I mark in this form. So mark it twice, right? Mark it twice, 37 top length. Then after which you connect the lines in this form as well. Then the next thing you are going to do is to look for your armhole. Your armhole is gotten from 4 different formulas, which I also explained to us in my previous videos. But for this video, we are going to use the armhole of chest over 4. Now, in this situation, we have chest of 40 and body of 41, meaning the tummy area as 41. Now, I will use the main chest, which is 40, because the body is the tummy, right, which is not pertaining to the chest. So to get armhole, you are meant to use the real chest, which is the chest of 40 or whatsoever measurement you have for your customer. So 40 over 4 is 10. I will now minus 1 inch. Reason being that we are making a 3/4 sleeve of 17. So 1 inch minus 10 gives us 9. So you mark 9 inches here for the armhole. So you mark it 2 times as well, 9 inches, right? Then after this, the next thing to do is to connect the lines as well as shown this way. And then you now mark the real 40 here, 40, 10 inches plus extra 2 inches. So I'm using 2 inches for this person. Reason so that I'll be able to still make use of 41 inches on the tummy region inside these 2 inches, right? So having said that, shoulder is 17 by 2 is 8.5. Add extra half to it, it becomes 9. So you mark 9 inches this way. Now connect the line this way, and then after which you slope by 2.5, and then you connect again from this direction this way. And then the next to do is to get your armhole trimming. Now, armhole trimming is to remove the rumples that always applies or falls on the armhole region. Now we have different ways of doing that, but for this particular method, I am marking from here, getting the middle. This is 6.5, middle becomes 3.25, and then coming there by 1.5 for the armhole trimming, right? Then after which, use the pattern master, connect in this form where you will have a connection joining the shoulder point to the 1.5 and to the armhole remaining. Then after you have done this, the next is your neckline. Now the neckline we have is neckline of 16, so divide by 6. Every neckline must be divided by 6. You have a value, then you have to minus or deduct 0.3 from that value. Use the letter answer for the widthwise measurement of the neck, and then add half to that to get your depth. So from this person's neck, I will use 2.3 inches width this way, and then adding half to it, making it to be 2.8. I'll mark at 2.8. Then after which you connect the lines in this form, connect the lines as well in this form, and then use your pattern master and then place this way, make a connection that goes in this very form. Then after this, you now bring down the line of the 2 inches allowance from the chest region straight down to this side. Then from the 4 inches point you have marked, you come up by 7 inches for the slit opening, right? 7 inches is enough. Then go out there by half an inch or 1, depending on the folding you have. So this is basically how to draft the front panel. Now some persons might ask me, where are we going to add the 41 inches? Now this will be added at the midpoint of the chest of the fabric. Then from this midpoint, I have 41 to be 10.25 this way, and then it's still inside whatever we have in this form, right? So the difference here is not much. So I will cut this now and then show us how to draft or to cut the back panel. I will cut this and come back to show you the results. Alright, so now in cutting, the reason I'm trying to show you guys how I cut is for you to understand. Now make sure that the neck cutting is in an arc form, right? This way. It should not be oval. It should be in an arc form. Then make sure you cut accordingly from the line you have marked. Please, very important. Don't be in a haste. Carefully cut. Make sure that the edges of your cutting are smooth as well. Don't have a zigzag line or a rough edge cutting. It doesn't augur well. It doesn't show how confident you are. It shows that you are still learning or you are not a neat designer. All neat designers must have a smooth edge when they are cutting, right? They must have a smooth edge, just like this, the way I am showing you now. So you carefully do all of this, and then when you are done with the cutting, now the next thing I'll also show us is how to cut or to place the back. Now I believe I have shown this several on my channel, but I just wanted to show us this, and possibly I will also guide us or take us to the whole sewing stage. So kindly subscribe to my channel, give me a thumbs up, like, comment and share, and tell me how impactful this video is to you. So let us now do for the back panel cutting. Alright, so now I have folded the back panel. Now remember we have finished drafting the front. So for us to draft the back, all we need to do is to fold the same fabric in width, just the way we did for the front panel, and then we place it in this form, this way, place in this form, this way, and then you are making sure that the back will be raised. Before you go proceed, make sure that the side here are very equal. Make sure they are equal with all of the front panel, and then we are going to mark out the baseline here. Now this baseline is where we are going to take bearing from. So this back panel will be 1 inch longer here. Leave 1 inch longer from the end of the 4 inches on the front panel. And then after that, now the next to do is to raise the back. So the back raising is 3 inches here at the neck region, and then 2.5 inches on the armhole area. Then with the help of your pattern master as well, you connect the lines as shown this way, and then after which you now slope your ruler half inch backwards by, you can simply mark out this line on the front neck to the back, and then from there you measure ½ inch backwards this way to know the point that you are meant to slope your ruler to, right? It's very important as well. And then the neck depth remains 1.5 inches from this area and not from here, from the area close to the front neck edge. Then place your pattern master this way and then make a curve. Please, in making a curve, the ending of the curve here should not go high. It will make your neck to have a W-like shape, which is not proper. Now, the back neck here should be a bit sunken or slopy, deeper than the 1.5 inch you have on this region. So I have seen several people make such mistake, which is not proper. So you must place your pattern master this way, where this one will be a bit sunken or deeper. So you just connect in this form. As you can see how it sloped downwards. This is the best way to make your back neck. Reason being that your customer will not have any protrusion at the back part where the piping or the neck will be going higher than expected. So having said that, then you cut from here, but invariably, let me tell you, the deepest part of the neck from the raising is like 3 inches deep from this slope region, right? So you just cut out from here and make it come to this very point, and then you also cut from here. You also cut from here, and then when cutting the back armhole, now some persons will tell you to make the back to be a bit wider. It's still okay, it's still very good, it still works. If you want to do it that way, fine. So in such situation, how then do you go about it? You make sure that while cutting the back armhole will have this shape. The back armhole will be a bit wider, but on this region to be equal with this, then a bit ½ inch wider than here. Does this region, right? So if you still want to do it that way, it's still very much okay. So but I make mine to be equal so that when joining my sleeve, I won't have any bulge at the back panel. So if you make it to be equal, there's still no problem, as long as your trimming is not too much dipped inside. You cut all through this way. You cut all through this way. Cut all through this way, and then cut out the baseline. And still don't forget to leave the 1 inch at the baseline to still retain or still be there. Trim off any uneven parts. So now the next thing to do here is to synchronize the back panel with the front panel by simply folding this panel to come in front. Now the extent of your folding will be around 2 inches, right? 2 inches folding, or 2.2, 2.1. Then from here, trim the excesses that comes out this way, and then after which you make sure they are corresponding, and then you also trim the neckline width. Trim it all to this very point. Then if you notice some shapes that are not proper here, then just go a little bit below and make it to synchronize properly, just this way, and then you are done cutting the front panel and the back panel. So you also mark chalk as well to differentiate the front from the back. So just make sure you drop chalk on the body. So now the next part you will see will be on the sleeves, the design, the gumming, and every other components we need. So this is basically a video on the front panel and the back panel. Please kindly subscribe and make sure you watch for the part 2 or the second episode of these Senator Talks we are learning on the channel. Thanks for watching, guys. See you in my next video.
whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, well, I don't wanna jinx it, baby, and twist myself at the spine. Don't wanna overthink it, baby. It's just twist your body and mine. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're giving me wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Oh, but I don't wanna jinx it, baby. Let's not get ahead of my time. Oh, but I don't wanna miss you, baby. So I stand up and speak my mind. Oh. You're chilling in the rain. You're some kind of butterfly. Baby, you give me midnight. You whip up my appetite. Don't leave me here high and dry. Baby, you give me ice and fire. You're channeling wind and rain. You're some kind of butterfly.